our next session is on mental health of men. So बचपन से ही हमको like men को सिखाया जाता है कि रोना मत, तुम लड़की हो क्या रो रहे हो. So these feelings in men, they are very submissive. कि they don't फिर वो express करना ही छोड़ देते हैं. And if they cry or if they express, means they are weak. So a lot of men are suffering inside and they don't want to express. So we thought of holding this session for men to create awareness and to speak up. And our next speaker is a great speaker, and he's Mr. Prashant. We would like to invite Mr. Prashant. So primarily, Prashant is from a business background. He's an entrepreneur with 26 years of experience, currently based in Pune, and he wanted to add value to people around him. So he started to become a life coach. He chose to become a life coach. He's a Heal Your Life trainer and Heal Your Life coach. So he follows this holistic approach towards his clients. He's an advanced numerologist, NLP practitioner, and an angel therapist. And he has deep passion to empower the people around him. So I would really like to invite Prashant and tell us, like, we would like to know about some facts and how men should deal and express about their mental health condition. Welcome, Prashant.
Yeah, thank you, Yanki. And I would just like to pick up from one statement which Yukti just made a while back: the knight in the shining armor. That is how we perceive men to be. Okay, and as you also just made a mention, Yanki, about how the way men are brought up or children are brought up, that we are supposed to be strong. And most of the teachings which I have learned, most of the teachers with whom I have learned, they say that when we are growing up, most of our learning is done by the time we are 5 to 6 years of age. And what we see during those times or during those years eventually becomes a pattern in us, and that becomes a behavior. And when we grow up as adults, we start showing out our true self, which is not true. So what I would like to start with is that we need to understand that we as men are just wearing a costume of something very divine called as the soul. And why do men actually abstain from expressing their feelings? It's because they are often discouraged, or they just prefer to brush it off. For some people falsely believe that it's not okay for men to express, or that they shouldn't be experiencing the kind of feelings what they are going through. What I would like to say is that is not the case. It's okay for you to experience the feelings what you're going through. It's okay for you to express, emote, because you need to understand that as humans, we are all made up of emotions. And time and again, it's okay to give in to them. This said, men are very less likely to speak about their true feelings. First, because they aren't encouraged to talk about their feelings. They are treated like providers. They are treated like breadwinners for the family. And also, this is a myth that what would happen to a family if a man breaks down? What will happen to the family? Who would support them? And with these analogies and facts, we keep behaving the way we actually do by not expressing our true selves. Finally, we also tend to give in to the many obstacles which stand in our pathway as we are moving ahead in life. And what we need to understand is there are 3 things which I would like to very quickly make a mention about. Why do men behave the way they actually do, or why do they actually suppress the feelings? First is we are discouraged from doing so is men tend to shy away from any vulnerable situation or conversations, maybe like sharing their personal life, their sex life, their health issues, or maybe a condition in their business or some situation which they are going through in a career. They try to avoid it. They are not very open to talk about it with the fear that they would be judged. As Yukti added, that judgment keeps us away from speaking up and opening up for ourselves. On one hand, men are very little socially supported when it comes about talking about their themselves. Eventually, we see that in a group when men are talking about their true selves or the feelings what they are going through, they are made fun of. And this happens to us, and I have experienced it in my own life. On the other hand, hard things and certain raw conversations are treated to be vulnerable. Hard things can leave us with the feeling, making us feel defeated or discouraged. Let's take an example. As growing up, suppose we have two siblings, a girl and a boy. Both of them are playing out. Suppose the boy and the girl both fall down and come into the house crying. What is it that is said? Why are they treated differently? The boy is told, you are a boy, you are strong, it's okay, you'll heal yourself. But on the other side, we see that a girl child is pampered, she's soothed. So it eventually becomes a pattern, and that is what we feel, and that is how we pick up our emotions and start growing up as we grow on. We are told that boys don't cry. Men are the providers, as I said, and then they're supposed to carry the label of being strong, either a strong boy or a strong guy. Second thing is, what I would like to say is they tend to brush it off very easily, trying to show that they are okay, they're absolutely fine, which is not true. Men tend to give in to many solution focused, and they try to look out for solutions very easily, whereas women express themselves, talk to people, talk to someone around them, and then they come to a conclusion. On the contrary, with men, it's very different. They instantly seek some solution to a situation, and that is where they don't open up. And eventually, after they realize that this is not working in their favor, they tend to get into a mode of depression. And statistics proves that men are 3.5 times more prone to get suicidal in situations when they get depressed. No wonder we hear so many men killing their families and then committing suicide in the end. They face multiple obstacles which prevent them from opening up. And if men were to acknowledge their feelings and their problems, it would make them very easy to open up. It's also equally important that we admit that we are in a situation or in a problem and speak to someone whom we can rely on. We need to combat the shame with which we have grown up, and that comes with the feeling of not being enough just to cry and weep. It's okay to express, because of late there has been a lot of talk happening around that it's okay for men to cry, and the strong people eventually express themselves and weep. It's also important that we create a new way of thinking, feeling, and dealing with our emotions, the situations around us, which we haven't done previously. That will bring in a great amount of help to us. All of these things are difficult, and when worked in combination, it becomes all the more difficult for us to overcome all of these. So we tend to just break them down, stand up for ourselves, speak for ourselves, and show up. All of these things are difficult, and ignoring and hoping the problem would fade away on its own is going to create more chaos in our lives. So let me just speak a little bit about what are the consequences of emotional avoidance. And part of what makes us human is our ability to feel our feelings and process our emotions. When we are happy, we always want to smile, we show some excitement, and rather when we are angry, that shows up on our body, our physical expressions, and our voice level increases. When we are sad, we are naturally bound to cry, and we have that feeling. But as men, we suppress it a lot. And when we avoid these emotions, it can lead to a large number of consequences, including affecting your mental health, your physical health, bringing in a lot of anxiety, and especially for men, it can increase the risk of taking some drastic steps like committing suicide. Now, if I ask you a question, is depression different for men from women? No, it is not. Most of the symptoms what each one of us feels in depression is the same, and they include irritability, getting suddenly angry, getting agitated, taking up aggression, and doing something which is not expected. So what I would like to focus more here on is that how we can cultivate a habit of opening up and expressing ourselves better and how we can overcome the situations or any challenges which surround us. So first thing is that men need to understand that mental wellness is extremely crucial for your entire well-being. And when we talk about wellness, men immediately tend to attribute it to their physical well-being, which isn't true. If you're mentally fit, you would naturally be physically fit. Mental well-being is extremely vital, just as our physical well-being is, and your emotions, your stress levels impact your overall condition. So what could you be doing to deal with these situations or to deal with stress? Deal with stress in the moment, allow your emotions to surface, let them pass, acknowledge them for being present and trying to teach you something. People often tend to swallow the feelings because they fear that others would be judging them and will not accept them. It isn't true. For your own well-being, it's extremely important that you're expressive, you acknowledge your feelings and deal with it in the moment rather than procrastinating them. Because normally as men, what we tend to do is that we'll always say to ourselves, we'll come back to this later, and it stays there somewhere in some part of us. And eventually, if it is not attended to, it throws out in the form of a physical ailment. Understand that there are many ways in which you can express your feelings. You can either talk to someone, or maybe journaling is a very good habit which you can pick up, because you're there in your own, on your own, in your own space, writing about your thoughts that are bothering you and penning everything down. Second is practice some deep breathing and relaxation techniques, because that help you to a great extent. Nonetheless, you remember that to engage in full long breaths helps you shift a lot of stress. Third thing is don't hold yourself in a space of judgment when you're upset, because that is just a situation which is bringing that to you. And once that passes off, you're not going to remain the same. Understand that every situation has come to teach you a lesson. And the first thing, when you make a mistake or create something for yourself, don't hold yourself at guilt or resentment. Acknowledge it for having taught you a lesson and then simply release it. Whenever you feel down, focus on a positive emotion, reflect back upon a moment in the past where you have accomplished something and how did that make you feel. Be with those feelings, because it's always said you attract what you think, and law of attraction works on this science. If you're happy, you attract happier thoughts. If you're in a state of depression, if you tend to put yourself down, that is what you're going to be surrounded with. And if sometimes you win, know that it's okay for you to lose. You need not rely on the external events and the happenings that are being done around you, because these are some things that you can't really control. Your thoughts play a very huge role in the way you feel. And when you contemplate negative thoughts, you tend to feel blue. The same works the other way around also. Think about a happy moment or a happy thought or a person or a place that you love, and immediately you see a shift in your moods. Engaging in some kind of physical activity when you're feeling low is extremely important. Choose to either go out in nature, spend time with people you love, socialize, follow an exercise regime, which really helps you uplift your moods. Third thing is replacing hope with faith. Friends, understand that faith in itself is a very powerful word. And when you replace hope with faith, everything for you is bound to shift. Everyone experiences low moods occasionally. Some are able to connect with them and overcome them, whereas others give on to them. Stay with it. Know that everything is working for your highest good. And with all the situations that are surrounding you, your good is bound to come. Consider the best outcome could be in this moment when things change for you, and start focusing on that outcome, what you expect from the situation which is bothering you. Practice self-acceptance, do things that you love. Imagine that you are adequate and already provided with everything that you need to live a wonderful life. Every time you compare yourself to others, you're creating more turmoil within yourself, because we need to understand that each one of us is unique. We have our own unique identity. We are each born to be successful, richer in all ways, so that we can live a more harmonious life. Enjoy the qualities which you are blessed with, and some of them are very common to most of us, and some are different. Those aspects of other people which you see and compare yourself with only bother you. They are not meant to be true to you. You are unique, and recognize your own gifts. Also, be mindful about taking good care of yourself. Learn to accept your appearance as you are, because it's only one unique you who's here. It will change a little as you age, and it's okay. You will always look the way you are meant to. Accept everything about you, because there will come a time when it's not too late, that you come to a point of realization that you needed to be more considerate towards yourself. Before I just move on to the next topic, what I would like to add on is it's extremely important for men to reach out to support, because know that help is always there. And maybe when I'm talking about a little bit about coaching, in India, we perceive it more to be a therapy or a kind of counseling, which coaching is not. Life coaching is all about holding the space for the client very gently, hand holding them, helping them walk them through and overcome the challenges or the situations which may be bothering them in a very non-judgmental space. Know that a life coach is your shoulder, whom you can always look back to fall upon. And as you walk along, you'll see miracles happening in your life. Be flexible, accept change, and it can create a lot of change in your life. Know that it's okay to talk about your feelings to a loved one, or as I said, you can always have a life coach or a very close friend of yours whom you can trust, whom you can open up and express your true self. Never ever try to suppress your emotions within yourself, because it's important that you open up. As I said earlier, it's important that we stay active, have nourishing food, because as men, what we tend to do is whenever we are in a challenge, whenever we are depressed, we tend to give into alcohol, binge eating, or get into some kind of addiction, drugs. And with drugs, I not necessarily mean the harmful drugs. I also mean medication, antidepressants. But these are all temporary, because the next day morning when you wake up, you're again going to go back to the same routine. And what happens in the night? It's again taking back alcohol, your antidepressant pills and drugs. Know that we can never pour from an empty cup. So it's important that you fill your cup with happiness, joy, and pour out the same into others' lives. When you hold negative emotions in your cup, that is what you're going to throw out. Stay in touch with your loved ones, communicate with them, reach out to them more often than you have done earlier. Because being in our own community, in our circle of friends and loved ones, always helps us, because each one of us is there with an understanding of what we are going through. And even if they don't, it's okay. Always work on your relationships that are bothering you, any challenges in business that are bothering you, because most of the times as men, what we see, these are the two things which keep us stuck. And it is always best to take a break if need be. Know that it's okay for you to get away from your monotony and do something different. Spend time doing something you love doing, maybe a hobby, some kind of an art, traveling, which most men like. And always ask for help, friends. It's okay to ask for help. Know that none of us are superhumans. We all tend to get tired sometimes. We are all overwhelmed by how we feel. And if things are not going the way we want them to, then naturally we are going to feel let down. It's okay during these situations to reach out for professional help. So Yukti, if you don't mind, can we have more of questions?
Yeah. Ying. So yeah, I would like to ask, as in, women, they have to go through a lot of changes when they get married. So men also have to go a lot of changes, as in there's a new member to the family. He thinks it is his responsibility to get her accompanied, and so how should men, and sometimes men become sandwiched between mother and wife. So how it can help, like how you can, any advice for newly wed men, how they can tackle this situation?
See, first thing which would help is practicing compassion. Okay. What happens is when we are growing up in a family, it's almost about 25, 26 or 28 long years which we grow up in a family, and we know our first family or our inner circles better than anyone else does. And when your spouse walks into this zone of yours, you need to be extremely compassionate towards her, give her time to settle down, understand how each one of us is functioning in the family, because everyone is different, each one has different expectations from your spouse or the daughter-in-law. She's an aunt to someone, she's a sister-in-law to someone, and she has many roles to play. And as a man, we need to be there for her as a pillar of strength. And thus it becomes very, very important for us that we don't hold her in a space of judgment. Just give her time to understand everything and how the family functions.
Thank you. And we've like a lot of young teenage boys, they go through molestation from the same gender, from the opposite gender, and they don't speak up at all, and they want to keep it in the closet. But then it affects them throughout their lives. So I think how we as society can help those men to come out of the closet, and so that they speak up with somebody, and yeah, some advice for such boys and men.
See, first of all, why do they abstain from talking out or speaking up for themselves is with the fear of being labeled. Maybe people may perceive them to be homosexual, which is not very well accepted in our community at least. And that is why they tend to withhold everything on themselves, and they live with a lot of guilt about what may have happened, no matter what it is, what kind of molestation it is. And it is important that they speak out. And given the current times, of course, our generation was very different, but today, if I look at my son who's about 10 or 11 years of age, I treat him like a friend. I treat him more like a friend rather than like a father figure. Okay. So it's okay for the child to open up to someone whom is very close to, who can in turn guide them. Because this becomes a very broader perspective, and there is not one particular individual whom we can ask them to reach out to. So a good start would be reaching out to your parents, your siblings, your mother, your father, whomever you have a very good connect with.
Yeah. So some nowadays, since women are also working, and some women are little more, maybe a little more successful, or perceived to be little more successful than their spouses, and so men have these ego issues, and how they're not maybe taught to handle such things, that the responsibilities need to be, the household responsibilities need to be shared. And so what advice, because the dynamics of the society has changed, and there are a lot of working women, a lot of successful women. So how to, like, any advice or tips on that regard?
Just one single shift in your thought process. Why not enjoy the success your spouse has achieved and be with the flow rather than having a kind of inferiority complex? Because what happens in a way, you're undervaluing yourself by doing that. You're undervaluing yourself by doing that. But rather, on the contrary, if you start being more supportive to your spouse, help her achieve bigger things in life, in a way you're helping yourself, because you'll have that inner motivation, the inner drive to perform better. And when we start getting into a space of resentment, looking into our spouse's success, you'll see that you're getting down the ladder step by step, and the gap simply widens.
Also, we've heard of many suicides happening due to financial losses in business, and I myself have seen family members, close people, that if they are going through something financially low in the business, they don't share it with their family members. So they think it is like the family will look down upon them, that they are not successful or they are not able to handle the financial thing. So, how any advice for men on the financial thing? And because these are just part and parcel of life. So sometimes you have ups and sometimes you have downs, but the downfalls, many men are not able to handle the downfalls. So, any advice on that?
So we have heard a lot, Yukti, by many wise men, many wise people who have spoken in the past that success and failure are just passing events, and it doesn't necessarily need to be attached to an individual or to someone's identity. And as you said, a lot of suicides happen because of financial distress. It all comes from a space where the individual is highly reluctant to reach out and seek help with the fear of being judged. Okay, know that there is always help available around you, and it's not weak to reach out. If those people who love you, if those people who surround you, who have been with you, are not going to help you, who else will? Nothing is constant in life. We need to understand that. And everything changes. Today you are seeking out to someone for help. Tomorrow you may reach out, they may reach out to you for help, and you would be helping them around.
True, true.
So I would like to say that uh, seeking out and reaching for help is a trait of the brave rather than the coward people.
True.
The cowards succumb and give up.
True, true, true. Okay. Thank you, Prashant. It was such a lovely session, and like men, and you are doing an awesome job by empowering people, empowering your clients, and you've given such lovely hacks like journaling, deep breathing, speaking up. So these inputs will really help people to come out of their shell and speak up about their mental health. So yeah.
Yeah, and just before we conclude, I would also like to add that it's any challenge or any situation which may be bothering us, and if we are seeking to take an extreme decision, what becomes very important is pausing for the moment and reflecting back. As I said, this is the third time probably I'm trying to say this again. Ask yourself, what is this experience trying to teach me? Because there is a lesson out there, and everything that happens for a reason. So that is your learning. And if you're able to take it, then be assured that next time it's not going to come back to haunt you.
True, true. Yeah, so many valuable inputs. Thank you so much, Prashant. Thank you.
Welcome.
Really appreciate you to be a part of our Mental Health Day event. Thank you so much.
It was a
Thank,
privilege, Yanki. Thank you.
thank,
Thank you.
yeah, I would like to invite Manisha to take the event forward. Thank you.